Hello everyone, and I'd like to thank you for stopping by and checking out another one of my shrimp videos. So, what we want to talk about today is shrimp lines, how we get them, and I'm going to end the video with I have a special project. It's kind of a secret. That's kind of cool. And I haven't talked about it in any of my other videos, and so we're going to do something with that today, and you guys can get to see that. So first, I'm going to talk about shrimp lines and how they originate and how we got all these different kinds of shrimp. So this is one of the many charts that are floating around online. I think this one best describes what I'm trying to explain. Now keep in mind, this is not mine. I just found it online. So it all started with a wild type shrimp. So they found a shrimp that was kind of red, and they selectively bred it more and more, and then we got our red cherry shrimp. Then that red cherry shrimp was refined more and more into secure red, and then on to the different types of fire reds that go in higher and higher quality. And then from that red cherry, besides it going up higher in grades with the securas and the fire reds, then we randomly had a red really pop up and also a blue red really pop up, seemingly random. And then from that red blue really, we refine those down to get blue reallys, which is just a darker blue on the head and tail and clear in the middle. Then they were refined all the way down to get blue jelly, which is a solid light blue shrimp. So something like 6 years ago, I got my red shrimp from Lucas Brits, and they were so good that they never threw anything other than red shrimp. Of course, quality varied, but they were always a steady, always red shrimp. Just you gotta work on them to keep the quality up. I wanted to make my own red really line, but the problem was my reds never threw any reallys. They were always just red shrimp. So since I never had any random reallys pop up, I mixed some reds with my blue jellies in this tank here, and sure enough, I eventually got some red reallys popping up. So then I was able to pull out these red reallys. Of course, they're not the best yet. They're still in the process of being refined. Not every shrimp born in here is a red really, but a lot of them are. So the project has begun here. Now I've also had greens randomly pop up from yellows, as you can see here. And I've also had a few greens pop up in my oranges. So now when you get over here to the right side, I find this side, it's not quite as straightforward as the other lines in my experience, because I've had black rose shrimp before, and from that black rose shrimp, I've had every single thing from Bloody Marys to Chocos, to chocolates, to blue diamonds, blue dreams. I had every kind of really that's even imaginable with red, blue, black. So this side is all kind of crazy. And then with my blue dreams, as you can see here at the bottom middle here, I've had anything from blue carbon reallys even from time to time, so it's just the random nature of it. I mean, most of the shrimp are all perfect blue, but every once in a while you got some you got to pull out, and it's the randomness of the genetics that have gone into making the shrimp. One project I already have going is where I mixed carbon blue reallys with Bloody Marys in hopes to make the Bloody Mary really with the blue middle and the Bloody Mary red on the head and tail. There you can see a couple of blue carbon reallys, and we've got some Bloody Marys, and we've got lots of babies that have been popping up, and I don't see any available to see right here during the making of this video, but I have found two different shrimp that look like this. So as you can see here, we have deep dark red, the Bloody Mary almost wine red color on the head and the tail, and we have a slight blue in the middle, and that's super awesome. Now we just got to hope more pop up in that tank, and then we'll take those out and try to line this type of shrimp out. So now let's get to my secret breeding project. It's just not something I've ever talked about before in a video, and let me explain how this all came about. I have a lot of space dedicated to breeding Bloody Marys. I have this 100-gallon pond, this 40-gallon tank, and this 20-gallon tank. So that means I breed and produce and sell and sort through thousands and thousands of Bloody Mary shrimp all the time, continuously, dealing with Bloody Mary shrimp all the time. Got lots of them. So most of the time the calls are just lower quality. The red on them isn't that good. And then they've always, every few hundred shrimp or so, a blue one will pop up. And that's never been a problem because they're so rare. And then a little more rare after that is you'll get some black ones that'll pop up, or chocolates, and even a Shoko here and there. I mean, that's, when you're dealing with thousands and thousands, finding a few of those is no big deal. But out of all these thousands and thousands of Bloody Mary shrimp, there's been about 3 or 4 in the last year that really caught my interest, and they're too cool not to try to do something with. And so I tossed them in a guppy pond. One of the shrimp I found was a perfect Bloody Mary, really. And so I put it in here. And then there's another one I found. Let's see if I can find one that looks like. There was kind of like this. It's blue, but it was a really from the Bloody Marys. I threw one of those in there. And then I found a pretty decent, not great male Bloody Mary, and this is over the course of a year. Like this, I didn't find them all at once. It's just like, I'll throw that shrimp in there for now. Maybe something will happen, and eventually, in fact, just like 2 or 3 days ago, I was looking in here. I was like, oh my gosh, they bred out now. A lot of them aren't Bloody Marys, or a lot of them are not reallys, but there's more in here than I was surprised to see. There's like, let's see if we can get this one. That one's not very good, but there's a hint of a really there. But there's a handful in here that are super awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the guppies out. We're going to reset this tank. I got some sand wash for it and some rocks wash for it. And we're going to make this a shrimp only tank with these special Bloody Mary realies. And these are super rare. So hopefully we can make something out of them. So the first thing we're going to do is catch all these guppies out. It looks like we're going to have a handful of geniuses like you always do, but we got 90% of them. First go. All right. So the next thing we're going to try to do is pull this algae out of here without getting our shrimpies that we want. Now I'm going to pull all the moss out. That's good without algae in there. So let's see if we can catch the last few super genius guppies. These guys, there's always a handful of them. Like, oh my God, why are you so hard to catch? Every time I do this with guppies. Some of them are like, oh, I'll swim to the net. That's cool. And others are like, no, never. Take my little Anubiuses out. And so everything's ripped up. This is what we ended up with, putting like 2 or 3 or 4 unicorn shrimp in here. Most of them, there's a couple that are really good Bloody Marys. Some of them are wanting to be a really, and then we have that. I guess that would be a carbon really. That's interesting. That one's trying to be a really, but not quite. Look at this one. That one's trying to be some kind of blue really. We've definitely got some decent ones to get. We won't be super picky now, but we'll be pretty picky. And the ones that we end up not going with, we will put those in the ones with the Bloody Marys and Blue Dreams, trying to make the blue Bloody Mary release. Here, I'm just trying to make some Bloody Mary release. That one's pretty interesting. And you can definitely tell that is the dark, dark Bloody Mary red. And that one. There's a pretty decent one right there. There's a good one right there. There. I think we got enough to get something started. So now I'm going to try to get the rest of this stuff out of here, and we'll get it all the way down to bare bottom. First, we'll catch the ones that we're going to keep. We'll let them chill somewhere while we... Oh, there are little baby shrimp in here. Oh, man. Did not see any little tiny babies until just that one. It's pretty wild. There's another one. There's a good Bloody Mary that looks like it's probably buried. There's a super, super dark one. There's a good little really. There's a pretty good one. But we'll get some pretty good ones. There's a female that's already buried. We got 3 females that are really good. The rest are males. So let's get back to work on redoing this tank. And then we'll put them in the tank there at the end. They'll have their own 20-gallon tank. I might take that one out. That one's kind of reaching. I think I will. We got enough males. That male's not so hot either. So I'm going to take out a couple of these so-so males. So then we'll have more of an even ratio. And we want the best ones. That one's cool. He's got like 1 red foot, 1 red leg. Say. That one even has like a little bit of blue. I think that one might have been one of the culls I found. That might have been one of the original females. But yeah, there they are. Bloody Mary release. Who'd have thunk? So there's a bunch of mulm and muck in there, but these are the ones that aren't being kept. Some of them I was like, hem and hawed on. Ended up against it, and I did find, I think, a couple more that I ended up keeping after going up there and finding all the ones that are no good. But these genetics will surely help what we got going on in here. So the culls will hopefully help this project where we're trying to get the blue Bloody Marys to pop up. Alright, so we got a dirty tank, or clean tank of the shop vac, but the sides of the door started to scratch. I was like, I don't know, we'll see how we can get it off. It's not too good to scratch it when it's dry, I find. Have better luck when it's wet. So I'll probably scratch this side off and this side off, and then leave that side on, because these are looking sides. So we're going to put some moss here in this back section here. Get it stretched out so it's nice and thin, and that way the moss will go further. Get that back there. That there. A little bit there. Put some there. And I'll stretch this little piece out so that goes there. And then I have some rocks. I gotta be careful not to drop these guys. These are big old rocks. Put the big ones in the front. And we'll lay down. We'll put some all around the edge to keep this moss from floating away. That's what we're going to do with that. Here's some of the bigger ones. There we go. One there, because it looks like that might want to climb up on me. So in there, that ought to anchor the moss down. Now we're going to try to build like a wall deal here a little bit. Rock fence in front of the grass area, we'll call it. All right, so now it's time for the sand. Time for the sand. This is paver sand that I rinsed until I rinsed almost all the fines out of it. I gotta get a scoop because I'm gonna make a mess. Little Anubiuses. So we can get these in here in a good spot. Let's see here. And this is what we got. So let's fill her up with water. Add some safe. See how the shrimpies like it. All right, this will be their home. Got that big little pile of rocks there, big pile thing of moss. These little Nubius guys. All right, let's go check out the shrimp. All right, these are the ones that ended up being selected. I found a few more, I picked a few more out, and that's what we're running with. On that real little one, he's real good right there at the very end. I was trying to catch the last bits of the shrimp out. That one looks like it might have a bit of blue in it, so that's kind of cool. All right, let's put them in the tank. Oh, let's check out this look. This view of them. I like this view of them. So you can see they're not perfect, but we're trying to do something. I don't know if I'm sure they exist. Someone's probably done it before, but I've never heard of Bloody Mary lilies. You can tell. They are the dark red. That looks like Bloody Marys. They're not super clean, but now we're to the point of refining them. Let's put them in the tank. So, here we go, they're in their tank. Like I was saying earlier, they're not the superest, most the bestest shrimp, but they're pretty dang awesome. I've had thousands and thousands and thousands of Bloody Marys. And these have only popped up like maybe 5 or 6 times. All the years I've had them, and maybe like 3 times in the last year. And the 3 of them started this. And one of them wasn't even it was a blue one. That was a really. So, I can't complain really what we got going on here. That one's pretty good and is buried. Got some pretty good ones. I think we got enough to make something happen. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys might have picked up something or enjoyed hearing me bumble along and showing you my project. And so I thank you guys for watching. That's a good one right there. Look at that guy. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated on what happens with this line. So again, thank y'all for watching. Bye.